Today, a Russian agent will travel to New York City to kill the president. The name of the agent is Evelyn Salt.
My name is Evelyn Salt.
Then you are a Russian spy.
Angelina Jolie plays a CIA agent. People are accusing her of being a Russian spy, and there's a lot of twists and turns, and it's very smart. It's an action movie. It's a very cool summer movie.
Philip came in and explained to us when we first started mixing, everything that we're going to do sound-wise is all about supporting the story and her character. Whether it's music, driving and supporting that, or sound effects, we're going to work within those balances to help propel this chase. One of my favorite films I've worked on in a long time.
The thing I like about Philip Noyce, who's a great action director, I mean, he's one of these guys that always has a lot of cool hardware in his movies. He's got copters and cop cars and chases and guns. It's a heavy-duty movie that are still very smart.
He was so articulate. The first day, even before we started mixing, he knew every note, he knew every sound effect, he knew every piece of dialogue in the movie.
He really does hear and listen well. He can tell when you've made certain changes and EQ changes and treatment changes.
The man loves to pan, and we love to pan. That's what we do. We're swinging stuff all over the place, and we're taking all these dialogue lines and TV shows, and every sound effect is flying around, and the music is wrapped around you. So it was a real great treat to be working with someone who loves sound as much as we do and as he does.
Where'd she go?
Second floor.
Isolating ceiling.
Music was a driving force in this, and we knew that going in.
I think James Newton Howard did an extraordinary job. It fits the film really, really well. I think sometimes in a movie that has this much music, it can desensitize an audience. But James did a fantastic job, and the music changes and it fits perfectly.
He takes in account for big sound moments that he actually opened up holes in the music to let the sound effects live. And when you can get a composer that works hand in hand with the sound that he's watching on the screen, it's just perfect. You're thrilled. You're just so thankful for that.
Okay, open the door about 2 feet. We're gonna gas her. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, what was really cool about this film was we went sort of an old school approach. Philip wanted to have 3 mixers on it, which was great. I pre-dubbed dialogue to 6 separate pre-dubs. I had dialogue, I had groups, I had ADR, I had futzes, I had PFX, I had television announcers, I had all these radio calls. The radio calls are very cool too because they were recorded through walkie-talkies and they're like real cops and they're just going, there's energy just pumping.
There's some really cool background opportunities within the film. I build all of that stuff first. I start pre-dubbing backgrounds before I do anything else, so I have all the environments in place so that when I then go through and do my Foley pre-dubs and my various reflections and treatments, I'm doing that within the space and the environment so that it's the appropriate amount of treatment.
Once that's pre-dubbed, the first thing we do is we go through and just put the dialogue and the sound effects together with no music, make sure everything's playing, everything's cleared. Then the score comes in on 60 channels and we just start chipping away at scene by scene.
I always look to see, well, what can I clean out? What can I pull away from this that we don't notice, but we've opened up and made room for all the instrumentation of the music. If there's background city sounds and we're really not hearing them, I'm gonna take that stuff out. Where that music goes away, I'll feather those backgrounds back in and so on. So trying to maintain cleanliness, clarity, and definition at all times.
Even during a lot of these action sequences, there's a lot of key dialogue that's going on. So you want to be playing this dialogue at a level that's not ear bleeding. And it's very important just dynamically to just carve certain sounds, whether it's, let's say, the percussion in the music to pull it down, or if the effects have screeches or car motor, you can basically pull them down to almost nothing, just so you can hear these words, and when the words stop, boom, you just pop everything back up and it just keeps on driving. That's the key of the way that we just blend our music, sound effects, dialogue.
Somebody's going to try to kill the Russian president. You know that. Do something about that.
Come in and tell us
That's
what
what you
know.
should be worried about.
There's nowhere to run. Quit now.
No, I didn't do anything.
One of the things that I've always liked to say is we want something to be just bold and powerful, but not painful. And I go to the movies all the time, and there's nothing worse than hearing a movie where you're uncomfortable. And unfortunately, the first thing that happens is the movie is going to get turned down in the movie theater. So all your work that you think is great and it's rocking, instead of playing back at 85 dB, it's going to play back at 78 or 80 or whatever. They turn the theater down. So it's really important to just try to just stay in your boundaries, especially with a movie like this. It doesn't have to be painful. It can be full and loud and fun to where the audience can really enjoy themselves and have a good time participating in the movie and not just go and get blown out where they walk out with a headache.